The galaxy was not silent. Thousands of massive warships moved together like a dark ocean in space. Their metal bodies shined with cold blue light. This was the Ravok Empire fleet, the most feared force in the known galaxy. Wherever this fleet moved, planets fell and races vanished. Every alien nation knew one rule. When the Ravok Empire moves, no one stands in its path. The fleet was traveling through a forbidden star corridor. This path was used only during full war movement. Even strong empires avoided it. Small ships that entered the zone were destroyed in seconds. And yet, a small human cargo ship drifted into the corridor. Its name was Drift Runner. It was old. Rust covered its body. One engine burned weak blue fire. It was not a warship. It was not even military. It was just a lost human transport ship carrying supplies. Inside the cockpit, Captain Eli Carter checked the main screen. His face was calm, tired, and confused. "Navigation system offline," he said softly. His co-pilot, a young woman named Mara, looked at space outside the window. Her face turned pale. "Captain, I think we are not alone." Eli looked up. His breath stopped. Before them stretched endless alien warships, giant ships with sharp edges and glowing weapons. The space around them was filled with death. Mara whispered, "That's the Ravok Empire." Every human pilot in the galaxy knew that name. Eli did not scream. He did not panic. He only slowly breathed in. "Well," he said quietly, "that explains a bad signal." The Empire notices a human. On the largest Ravok command ship, alarms began to flash. "Unknown object detected," a cold alien voice reported. The supreme commander of the Ravok Empire, Lord Zyron, stood from his throne. His tall, armored body reflected the battle lights. "Show me," he commanded. A small human ship appeared on the massive screen. Silence filled the command hall. A weak ship, no weapons, no armor. Just a tiny metal box floating straight to the heart of the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. One officer spoke in disbelief. "A human ship? Here? That is impossible." Another officer laughed. "They must be lost. Or stupid." Lord Zyron's glowing eyes narrowed. "Target the ship," he said. "Destroy it." Weapons across hundreds of Ravok ships charged at once. Death energy filled space. Humanity does not blink. Inside the Drift Runner, warning lights flashed. Mara grabbed her seat. "Captain, we are locked by hundreds of weapons." Eli looked at the screen. The targeting signals surrounded his ship like red stars. He could not outrun them. He could not fight them. But still, his hands did not shake. He opened the communication channel. "This is human cargo ship Drift Runner," he said calmly. "Requesting safe path exit. Navigation error." The Ravok command hall fell silent. A human was asking for permission? Lord Zyron stared at the screen. "He is not screaming," one officer said slowly. "He is not begging," another whispered. Lord Zyron raised his clawed hand. "Hold fire," he said. The weapons stopped charging. Face to face with death, the giant Ravok command ship moved forward. It stopped just in front of the tiny human vessel. The size difference was like a mountain facing an ant. A direct visual link opened. Eli Carter now stood face to face with the supreme commander of the most feared empire in the galaxy. Lord Zyron's voice boomed through the ship. "Human, you have entered a war path. This is a death zone." Eli nodded slowly. "Yes, sir. That is clear now." "You should be afraid," Zyron said. "Your planet is weak. Your race is small. We can erase you." Eli looked at the massive alien fleet behind Zyron. Thousands of ships. Enough power to burn stars. Then he answered, "We did not come to fight, but we are not afraid either." The Ravok officers erupted in angry noise. "Arrogant creature. He dares speak without fear." Lord Zyron lifted his hand again for silence. "You face death," Zyron said. "Why does your heart remain calm?" Eli looked back at Mara for a brief moment. Then he looked forward again. "Because humans learned long ago," he said simply, "fear does not save you. Action does." A signal from somewhere else. Suddenly, another alert rang through the Ravok command ship. New transmission detected, an officer shouted. Unknown source. Before anyone could stop it, the signal appeared. A human signal. Another ship, then another, then dozens. From different directions, from the dark edges of space, human signals appeared on every Ravok screen. Not warships, not fleets, just presence. Eli's radar lit up with friendly codes. Mara whispered in shock, "Captain, that's a lot of humans." Eli's lips curved into the smallest smile. Suspense ending. Lord Zyron slowly turned back to the screen. "You were not lost," he said. Eli answered quietly, "No, we were testing the road." The Ravok Empire had marched across the galaxy without fear for centuries. But now, for the first time, the Empire hesitated, because one human ship had entered the path of death, and humanity did not blink. They tried to threaten humanity. The space around the Drift Runner was no longer empty. Human signals now filled the dark sky. They were not warships. They were not fleets. They were explorers, cargo ships, trade vessels, and deep space scouts. Ordinary human ships, spread across the edges of space like quiet witnesses. Inside the Ravok command hall, fear did not show on faces, but tension did. Lord Zyron stared at the human signals. "So many," one Ravok officer whispered. "They were watching us." Lord Zyron turned back to the screen where Captain Eli's face remained calm. "You planned this," Zyron said. Eli shook his head slowly. "No, humans do not plan fear. We prepare for it." That answer confused the Ravok officers. The first threat. Lord Zyron lifted his hand high. "All weapons, unlock," he ordered. Across the Empire fleet, thousands of weapon systems came online again. Space vibrated with power. "This is your final warning, human," Zyron said coldly. "Leave this corridor, or your planet will be marked for destruction." Inside the Drift Runner, alarms screamed again. Mara's hands trembled. "Captain, they are serious. That is full deathlock." Eli watched the red lights. Hundreds of weapon signals targeting his ship. He pressed one button. The ship's weapons powered up. Very weak weapons. Old weapons. But still weapons. Eli spoke calmly into the channel. "If you attack," he said, "you will start a war you do not understand." The Ravok command hall exploded with laughter. "A war?" one officer mocked. "Your race barely controls its own star systems." Lord Zyron raised his claw. "Show me this power you speak of," he said. "Humanity's answer." Eli did not fire. Instead, he sent a code. A simple human signal. Across space, dozens of human ships responded at once. Their engines shifted. Their power systems changed shape. The Ravok scanners suddenly cried out. "Energy spike detected." Human ships are changing form. The human ships did not grow bigger. They became sharper. Emergency shields activated. Silent weapons unlocked. Not heavy, but fast. Not brutal, but precise. The Ravok officers looked at the data in shock. "These are not cargo systems," one shouted. "They are dual-mode vessels. Hidden combat design." Eli's voice returned. "Humans learned," he said, "that peace only works when your hands are not empty." The first attack. Lord Zyron's eyes glowed brighter. "Fire one warning shot," he ordered. A single Ravok destroyer fired. A beam of black plasma cut through space and struck one of the human ships. The human ship vanished into fire. Mara gasped. "They killed one." Silence filled the human channels. Eli closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he said softly, "Human fleet defend." 30 seconds had changed everything. The humans did not rush. They spread. They moved in strange patterns. Ravok targeting systems failed to lock. Human ships use extreme speed bursts, appearing and vanishing like ghosts. In the first 10 seconds, 3 Ravok scanning ships went dark. In the next 10, 2 communication ships lost power. In 30 seconds, 5 Ravok ships floated lifeless, not destroyed, disabled. The Ravok command hall fell into stunned silence. Systems failure across multiple ships. We are being hacked during combat. Lord Zyron slammed his claw into the floor. Enough, he roared. Cease fire. The Ravok fleet stopped. Human ships also stopped. Space became silent again. This time the silence was heavy. A new understanding. Lord Zyron turned back to Eli. You hide weapons inside weak shells, he said. You hide soldiers inside peaceful roles. Eli nodded. Yes, he said, because we were hunted once. The Ravok High officers leaned forward. Hunted? One asked. Eli's eyes hardened. Long ago, a stronger race came to Earth. They took humans. They tested us. They broke us. Mara looked at him in surprise. She had never heard him speak like this. They believed we were weak, Eli continued, and they almost won. The Ravok listened without speaking. But humans learned, Eli said. We learned how to hide. We learned how to adapt. We learned how to strike only when needed. Lord Zyron studied him in silence. So now you move through the stars as traitors, he said. But your blood remembers war. Yes, Eli answered. The real threat. One Ravok officer whispered to Zyron, Supreme Commander, if these are only civilian humans, what about their military fleet? The hall grew cold. Lord Zyron slowly turned back to Eli. Where is your war fleet? He asked. Eli did not answer at once. He pressed another control. A new signal appeared on the Ravok main screen. Far away, very far, but massive, a cluster of human war signatures formed a distant wall of light, not approaching, just waiting. Eli finally spoke. They are not coming, he said, because we did not come to conquer. Then why reveal them? Zyron asked. Eli looked straight into the alien commander's eyes. Because you tried to threaten our home. Suspense ending. The Ravok Empire had ruled through fear for centuries. But now, for the first time, fear had answered fear. Lord Zyron raised his hand slowly. This meeting is not over, he said. The Ravok fleet began to reposition, not for retreat, but for a test much worse than battle. Eli felt it. Mara felt it. Every human ship felt it. Something dark was coming, and the galaxy was about to learn that humanity never shows all its cards at once. The space between the Ravok Empire fleet and the human ships felt heavy, as if the stars themselves were holding their breath. The Ravok war formation slowly changed. Giant battleships moved into a wide arc long-range cannons turned toward the human side, but they did not fire. Lord Zyron stood tall on his command deck. So, he said slowly, you hide your claws until the enemy is close. Eli Carter watched the movement on his radar. His face stayed calm, but his mind raced. This is not retreat, Mara whispered. This is preparation. Yes, Eli replied. They are planning a test. The Empire's decision. Inside the Ravok command hall, the High Council joined the channel. Tall alien figures appeared as glowing shapes around Lord Zyron. One human ship stopped a section of our fleet. One council member said, that should not be possible. Another growled, weak races survive only because stronger races ignore them. Lord Zyron raised his hand. Humans are not being ignored anymore, he said. The council turned their eyes to the human signals on the screen. Hundreds of small lights. Silent. Calm. We will not start a full war, one council member said. Not yet. We will test them. Lord Zyron nodded. Send the trial fleet. The trial fleet. Far behind the main Ravok force, massive hangar gates opened. From the darkness came 10 ships. They were smaller than the main battleships. But these were not normal warships. These were trial hunters. Fast attack ships built only to hunt dangerous species. Each one carried weapons made to break shields and melt armor. When the human scanners picked them up, alarms rose across the human network. Unknown attack ships. High-speed threat detected. Mara's voice shook. Captain, those ships are built to kill. Eli did not answer right away. He sent a silent code to all nearby human vessels. Defense mode only. No full attack. Mara stared at him. Why not strike first? Because, Eli said quietly, this is not a battle, it is a message. The first clash. The 10 trial hunters moved like arrows. They crossed the distance in seconds. Without warning, they fired. Blue-white energy tore through space toward the human line. 3 human ships were hit. Shields flared. 1 shield broke. The ship spun out of control, but did not explode. Human rescue crafts rushed in at once. Across the human channels, voices rose. But no fear. Only focus. Lock target. Redirect power. Protect the injured ship. Eli watched in silence. The trial hunters turned for another pass. Now, Eli said, human ships reacted as one. Precise beams of light struck the trial hunters. Not heavy, not explosive, targeted. 2 Ravok ships lost engines. 1 lost all weapons. 1 went completely dark. The rest pulled back in shock. A dangerous discovery. In the Ravok command hall, panic alarms exploded. Trial hunter units disabled. Human weapons hacked our core systems. What? A high officer shouted. Our core systems are sealed. Lord Zyron's fist clenched. How do they do this? A science officer stepped forward. They are not breaking through our shield with power, he said in fear. They are slipping through with signal design. Their attacks ride our own energy flow. The hall fell silent. That means, one officer whispered, they understand our technology. Lord Zyron slowly turned his head toward Eli on the screen. You studied us, he said. Eli nodded once. Yes. For how long? Zyron demanded. Eli's reply was calm and simple. Since the first time your ships passed near human space, 34 cycles ago. Shock rippled through the Ravok officers. They were watching us all this time. One whispered, the truth about humans. Lord Zyron leaned forward. You claim you were once hunted, he said. You learned to hide. You learned to adapt. Eli's face grew serious. Yes, he said, but hiding was not enough. He sent a new data file across the channel. The Ravok scientists opened it. What they saw chilled them. Human colonies burned. Human cities in ruins. Alien ships over Earth long ago. They tried to take our world, Eli said. They tested their weapons on our skies. They took our people. The Ravok officers watched in silence. We were weak then, Eli continued. We lost millions. Mara's eyes filled with quiet pain. This was history few civilians ever saw. But we learned, Eli said, we learned how to build fleets in silence. We learned how to spread without being seen. We learned how to prepare for a day we hope would never come. The Ravok Council could no longer hide their unease. You built for revenge, one said. Eli shook his head. No, he replied. We built for survival, a shift in power. The trial hunters returned to Ravok lines, damaged and silent. They did not attack again. Lord Zyron raised his hand slowly, signaling a pause. For the first time since this encounter began, the Ravok Empire did not press forward. Human ships held formation. No cheering, no threat, just waiting. The galaxy itself seemed to lean closer. The question that changed everything. Lord Zyron spoke again. If your kind is so prepared, he said, why enter our death corridor at all? Eli looked out at the distant stars before answering. Because, he said, your empire is moving toward regions where humans live. Silence crashed into the Ravok command hall like a hammer. You came to stop us, Zyron said. We came to understand you, Eli replied. So we would know how to stop you if we must. Suspense ending. The Ravok High Council cut into the channel. This meeting has revealed enough, one of them said darkly. The humans are no accident. They are a developing threat. Lord Zyron's eyes glowed brighter. Then we must decide, he said slowly, whether to crush this threat now or watch it grow. Far away, deep in human space, massive war fleets remained hidden behind silent stars, waiting, and the galaxy stood at the edge of a choice that would shape its future forever. The darkness between the fleets felt alive. After the High Council's words, the Ravok Empire did not attack at once. Instead, the giant warships slowly pulled back, creating a wide-open battlefield between the two sides. It was not peace. It was a challenge. Inside the drift runner, Mara watched the space map in silence. "They are giving us a stage," she whispered. Eli nodded. "A test ground." The Empire prepares a test. On the Ravok command ship, Lord Zyron stood still as stone. Around him, officers moved fast, sending orders across the fleet. "Select one assault group," Zyron commanded. Not the trial hunters. Not the main fleet. A massive hologram appeared. 3 Ravok warships moved forward. They were not huge battleships. They were not small hunters. They were execution cruisers, ships made to erase enemy fleets in open war. Each cruiser carried heavy shields, core-melting cannons, and fighter bays filled with attack drones. "These ships have ended entire wars," one officer said. "No weak race has ever survived them." Lord Zyron's eyes fixed on the human ships. "Let's see if humans are different." The challenge is issued. The 3 execution cruisers crossed the battle line and stopped. Lord Zyron opened a channel. "Human captain," he said, "you claim your race does not seek war. Now prove how well you survive it." Eli stood slowly from his seat. "How many ships may we send?" he asked. Lord Zyron's mouth curled slightly. 3, he said. "Equal number." Mara turned to Eli in shock. "Captain, 3 ships against those monsters?" Eli touched her shoulder gently. "Trust the crews," he said. He sent out the signal. 3 human ships moved forward. They were not the largest. They were not the most beautiful. They were simply precise. The battle begins. The Ravok execution cruisers fired first. 3 massive energy waves rushed forward like burning walls. Human ships scattered at once. One ship dove low. One ship rose high. One ship vanished in a flash of speed. The Ravok attacks missed by a narrow breath. The human ships did not fire back right away. They moved. They slipped behind Ravok targeting lines. They cut through scanner blind zones. Their engines burned hot and bright. "Human movement is unpredictable," a Ravok officer shouted. "They do not follow combat laws." The first strike. Suddenly, one human ship appeared directly under an execution cruiser's shield. A soft beam of blue light touched the Ravok shield. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the shield flickered. A tiny section failed. The second human ship fired instantly. A sharp pulse hit the open gap. The Ravok cruiser shook. Power dropped by 12%. Inside the Ravok ship, alarm screamed. "They broke our outer layer." "That should be impossible." Lord Zyron's fist tightened. Ravok strikes back. The damaged execution cruiser answered with rage. Its drone bay opened. Dozens of attack drones burst into space. They swarmed like metal insects. One human ship was hit. Its left wing exploded. The ship spun wildly. The Ravok officers shouted in victory. "They are falling." Mara covered her mouth in horror. Eli's eyes remained locked on the screen. "Not yet," he said quietly. The human trick. The spinning human ship suddenly released dozens of small glowing objects. The drones rushed forward. Then, the glowing objects burst into light. Electronic shock waves rippled through space. The Ravok drones went dark at once. Every single one. The damaged human ship stabilized and pulled away. The Ravok command hull fell silent again. "They turned the ship into a trap," one officer whispered. The fall of the first cruiser. The third human ship finally attacked. It fired straight into the main engine ring of the damaged execution cruiser, not with raw power, with focused signal energy. Systems failed in a chain reaction. Engines died. Weapons shut down. The great Ravok warship drifted, silent and helpless. Human ships pulled back. They did not destroy it. They let it float, broken, alive. The Empire feels fear. Lord Zyron slowly sat back in his throne. One cruiser disabled, an officer said softly, "No human ship lost." The other 2 execution cruisers hesitated. They had wiped out entire fleets before. Now, they faced something new. The final move. The Ravok commanders ordered both remaining cruisers to fire together. Twin beams of star-burning energy tore toward the human ships. Eli leaned forward. "Now," he said, all 3 human ships fired at once. Their beams twisted together. Not bigger. Not brighter. Smarter. Their energy tunneled through the Ravok attack waves, as if they were not even there. The beam struck both cruisers at once. Main systems collapsed. Weapon cores shut down. Shields vanished. Both massive Ravok warships went dark at the same time. 3 great giants frozen in space. Disabled. Alive. The battlefield was silent. The test ends. Inside the Ravok command hall, no one spoke. No cheering. No shouting. Only the sound of breathing. Lord Zyron slowly stood. The test is over, he said. The 3 human ships returned to formation. Not one followed. Not one attacked further. Humanity's message. Eli opened the channel one last time. We do not seek your death, he said calmly. We seek space to live. We seek safety for our people. He looked straight into Lord Zyron's eyes. But if you bring war to our door, his voice stayed steady. We will not blink. Suspense ending. The Ravok High Council immediately cut the transmission. Emergency signals spread across the Ravok fleet. Deep inside the Empire's territory, a secret weapons power core began to wake. The battlefield test was over, but the real danger was only just beginning. The galaxy starts to fear humanity. The 3 disabled Ravok execution cruisers floated in silence between the fleets. They were alive, but powerless. Across the void, thousands of alien eyes watched in shock. The Ravok Empire fleet slowly pulled back, not in defeat, but in deep caution. For the first time in centuries, the Empire had not crushed its enemy. It had tested and failed. Shock waves across the galaxy. Far beyond the battlefield, hidden listening stations activated. Messages raced across star systems. Humans disabled 3 Ravok warships, without losing a single ship. The Empire has hesitated. Across the galaxy, reactions exploded. On trade worlds, aliens whispered in fear. On hidden rebel planets, leaders felt hope rise for the first time. On neutral systems, watchers changed their maps. Humanity was no longer unknown. Humanity was now dangerous. The Council of Watching Worlds. Deep in a neutral sector, far from Ravok borders, a secret meeting began. Holograms of different alien races appeared in a giant circular hall. Tall insect-like beings, floating light creatures, stone-skinned giants, sharp-eyed predators. They had all been silent for centuries. Now they spoke at once. The Ravok Empire bled. The test failed. The humans are not weak. An old silver-scaled leader raised his claw. We have seen this before, he said slowly. A small race. Hunted. Broken. Then they returned stronger than the hunters. Fear moved through the chamber. One voice whispered, "What if humans replace the Empire?" Another answered, "Or what if they free us from it?" Silence fell again. The galaxy was officially afraid, but it did not yet know of what. Inside the Ravok command ship, Lord Zyron stood alone. The great command hall was empty now. Only warning lights remained. The High Council had withdrawn without explanation. He stared at the space map. 3 dark symbols marked the disabled cruisers. Unacceptable. In 5,000 cycles, he whispered, no race has ever stood where they now stand. An officer entered quietly. Supreme Commander, the outer systems report unrest. World we control are asking questions. Zyron's eyes narrowed. Answer nothing. Yes, Commander. After the officer left, Zyron turned to a sealed black pillar beside his throne. He placed his claw on it. The pillar lit up. A dark red symbol appeared. The sleeping weapon. Far inside Ravok space, beneath a dead star, a hidden structure stirred. Massive generators woke one by one. Ancient machines that had not moved for ages began to breathe again. Energy flowed. Seals unlocked. In deep darkness, something alive opened its eyes. The Ravok Empire had activated its final option, the weapon meant for extinction-level war. Back with the humans. Near the battlefield, the human ships remained calm. No cheering, no victory signals, just alert silence. Inside the drift runner, Mara finally let her breath out. I thought we would all die, she whispered. Eli shook his head gently. Not today. But, Captain, she said, we scare the most powerful empire in the galaxy. Doesn't that make us their enemy? Eli looked at the stars beyond the screen. No, he replied. It makes us their problem. A human signal flashed across the fleet. From High Command, a secure channel opened on Eli's screen. Admiral Rhea Morgan appeared. Her face was hard with concern. You crossed a red line today, she said. Eli nodded. I know. The galaxy is moving, she said. Every major power is watching us now. Eli stayed silent. Rhea leaned forward. The Ravok will not forget this, and they will not forgive it. Eli's voice was steady. We didn't come to be forgiven. The first reaction of the small worlds. Across nearby systems, something unexpected began to happen. Small alien convoy ships started sending signals. Not to Ravok, to the humans. Trade offers, medical requests, information leaks about Ravok supply routes. Races that had lived in fear for generations were testing a new idea. Maybe the humans could protect them. Inside the human fleet, officers debated. They will drag us into 1,000 small wars, one warned. They already live in 1,000 small wars, another answered. Eli listened in silence. Then he spoke. We answer only one kind of call, he said. The call for survival. The Empire's hidden decision. Back in Ravok space, Lord Zyron stood before the High Council in a dark chamber. The humans are awakening multiple systems against us. One council voice said, they are becoming a symbol. Then break the symbol. Another growled. Zyron raised his hand. The ancient weapon is now active, he said slowly. When it is ready, the humans will vanish in one strike. A council member hesitated. Supreme Commander, that weapon was built to erase entire regions of space. Zyron's eyes burned. So be it. Quiet before the storm. In human space, fleets began to move. Hidden shipyards unlocked. Defense satellites powered up. Civilian worlds shifted into emergency readiness. Children were moved underground. Hospitals prepared for mass events. Human leaders did not announce panic. They announced only this. Humanity stands alert. Eli stood alone on the deck of the Drift Runner. Morrow walked up to him. Do you think the Ravok will attack again? Eli watched the stars in silence for a long moment. Yes, he finally said, but not the way we expect. The last signal. Suddenly, a strange signal pulsed across every human system. Not from Ravok. From deep unknown space. Distorted. Ancient. Heavy with power. Human sensors could not read it. Only one message repeated inside the noise. We are awake. High Command went silent. Eli's blood went cold. Somewhere far away, the true war machine had opened its eyes. Suspense ending. The galaxy was afraid. The Ravok Empire was preparing extinction. The small worlds were placing hope on humanity. And now, something older than empires had awakened in the dark. The real war had not yet begun, but it was finally inevitable. The strange signal still echoed across human space. We are awake. No one knew what it meant, but everyone felt the weight of it. Inside the human high command chamber, officers stood in tense silence. Giant star maps filled the air. Hundreds of fleet icons glowed in alert positions. Admiral Rhea Morgan broke the silence. That signal did not come from the Ravok Empire, she said. It came from far beyond known space. Eli stood among the officers, his face cold. So the Ravok are not the only danger, he said. No, Rhea replied, but they are still the closest. The false peace message. Only hours later, another signal arrived. This one was clear. This one was Ravok. A wide communication channel opened across human systems. Lord Zyron appeared on every screen. Human leaders, Zyron said calmly, the Ravok Empire proposes peace talks. Shock spread across the room. Some humans believed it. Some did not trust a single word. Rhea's eyes narrowed. After trying to erase us, now they want peace? Eli spoke softly. It is not peace, he said. It is a trap. But High Command could not ignore the offer. A neutral star system was selected. Both sides agreed to send limited fleets. The galaxy held its breath. The meeting of enemies. The neutral system was dead and silent. No planets. No life. Only cold stars and floating rock. Human ships arrived first. Then the Ravok fleet emerged from hyperspace. Two giants faced each other in stillness. Inside the main Ravok diplomatic cruiser, Lord Zyron stood with his closest guards. Inside the human flagship, Admiral Rhea, Eli, and the top commanders gathered. A visual link opened between both ships. "This war gains us nothing," Zyron said. "You grow stronger. We grow cautious. Let us end this now." Rhea stared straight at him. "You attacked first." "You entered our corridor," Zyron replied. Eli stepped forward. "You were moving toward human space," he said. "We stopped you." For a moment, silence ruled. Then Zyron slowly nodded. "Let this be the end," he said. "We withdraw our advance." Some human officers relaxed. Eli did not. The hidden weapon moves. Far beyond the neutral system, deep in Ravok space, the ancient doomsday weapon completed its charge. A structure larger than a planet rotated inside a dark energy shell. Living metal veins pulsed across its surface. Inside its core, a mind older than empires listened. And then it was given a single command: erase the humans. The betrayal begins. Back at the peace meeting, Zyron raised his claw. "To peace between our races," he said. Rhea nodded slowly. "To survival," she answered. At that exact moment, every Ravok ship at the meeting activated full combat mode. Emergency alarms exploded across the human fleet. Weapon lock. Multiple targets. Core signature rising. "It's a trap," someone shouted. Eli turned sharply. "Shields up. All ships scatter. Now!" The Ravok fired. The sky breaks open. The first Ravok wave smashed into human front line. 3 human ships vanished in fire. A massive shockwave rolled through space. Mara screamed inside the drift runner as the ship was thrown sideways. "They betrayed us," she cried. Eli's hands moved fast across the controls. "All non-military ships retreat," he ordered. Battle groups formed defense wall. Human fleets reacted in seconds. Shields flared. Counterfire erupted. Laser storms filled space. Missiles streaked like burning stars. The peaceful meeting turned into hell. The doomsday weapon arrives. Then, space itself bent. A shadow larger than anything ever recorded appeared at the edge of the system. Human sensors went blind. Gravity twisted. Stars dimmed. A massive black structure emerged from nothing. Its surface moved like living armor. Every human screen lit red. Unknown megastructure detected. Admiral Rhea whispered in horror. "That's not a ship. It's a weapon," Eli said. The ancient machine turned toward the human fleet. A single beam of dark energy formed at its core. A wall of light. Eli did not hesitate. "All fleets into shield chain," he shouted. Thousands of human ships linked their shields at once. Energy fields connected into one massive defense wall. The dark beam fired. It struck the shield wall. For one terrible second, the human wall held. But then cracks appeared. Power levels dropped fast. Shields failing. Energy overload. "We can't hold much longer." Eli clenched his fists. "This weapon was built to kill stars," he whispered. "The price of survival." Admiral Rhea made a choice no commander ever wants to make. "All forward fleets," she said, her voice breaking slightly. "Full sacrifice charge." Hundreds of human warships accelerated straight toward the doomsday weapon. "No!" Mara cried. Ships rammed into the beam's source. Explosions lit the darkness. The beam weakened. The shield wall stabilized again, but at a terrible cost. Human signals vanished by the hundreds. Eli watched in silent pain. The Ravok realized the truth. On the Ravok command ship, chaos broke out. The High Council shouted at Zyron. "That weapon was not meant to be used here. You will tear the region apart." Zyron stared at the battle in silence. The human fleet still fought, still stood, still refused to fall. For the first time, doubt touched the Ravok Supreme Commander. The hidden surprise. Suddenly, a human signal burst through the chaos. Not a warship, not a fleet. A single unknown human craft emerged from hyperspace directly behind the doomsday weapon. Eli's eyes widened. Mara whispered, "That ship, it's not on our records." The unknown ship charged its core. Bright, white energy covered it. A voice echoed across all human channels. "This is the last light protocol." Suspense ending. The unknown human ship rushed straight toward the heart of the ancient weapon. The doomsday machine began to turn. The galaxy froze in one breathless moment. Would the betrayal end in total destruction, or in the birth of a new power no empire could ever control? The unknown human ship flew straight toward the heart of the ancient doomsday weapon. Its engines burned with white fire. Behind it, the massive dark machine turned slowly, like a sleeping god waking in anger. Inside the drift runner, Eli Carter felt his heart stop. "That ship is on an attack path," Mara whispered. "It will never escape." Eli already knew that. The last light protocol. Across all human channels, the unknown pilot's voice spoke again. Clear and calm. "This is last light protocol." The voice said, "All human fleets, hold the line. No fear, no hesitation. Only duty." Human commanders across space understood at once. Last light was not a weapon. It was a sacrifice command. The unknown ship was not meant to return. Inside the doomsday weapon, deep inside the ancient machine, systems awakened fully for first time in ages. Defense shields spread like black fire. Energy cannons turned toward the fast-approaching human ship. On the Ravok command ship, officers screamed warnings. "It is heading for the core. If it enters that chamber." Lord Zyron's eyes widened. He finally understood. "They are not trying to destroy the shell," he whispered. "They are trying to kill the mind inside it." The final run. The unknown human ship was hit. Once. Twice. Its outer armor burned and broke. Its left engine exploded. Still, it moved forward. The human pilot did not change course. Eli watched in silence. Mara's hand shook. The human ship reached the outer shield of the doomsday weapon. It should have been erased. Instead, it phased through. Human science met ancient terror, and won. The mind that ruled ruin. Inside the core chamber of the great weapon lived a living intelligence, an ancient war mind built to erase entire civilizations. It had no body, no face, only endless thought. And now, it felt something new. Human will. The last light ship entered the core chamber and locked itself to the ancient machine's central brain. The pilot's voice spoke one last time on all channels. "Tell Earth we held the dark back." Then, light exploded inside the heart of the doomsday weapon, the death of a god weapon. From the outside, the massive dark structure froze. Its swirling energy stopped. Its shields fell. Cracks of white light spread across its surface, like lightning. Then, the ancient weapon shattered. A silent explosion tore through space. No fire, no sound, only a wave of pure light that erased the dark machine from existence. The greatest weapon ever built by the Ravok Empire was gone. Forever. The Ravok Empire falls silent. On the Ravok command ship, every screen went dark. Weapons shut down. Fleet systems collapsed. The High Council stood frozen in shock. Lord Zyron slowly fell to one knee. "The weapon destroyed," an officer whispered. For the first time in Ravok history, they had nothing left. No final card. No fear weapon. Only their ships. And the humans still standing. Humanity still stands. The human shield wall weakened when the doomsday wave vanished. But human ships remained. Damaged. Burned. Falling apart. Still standing. Still aligned. Still ready. Eli opened the fleet-wide channel. "Human fleets," he said calmly. "Hold formation." No cheers followed. No victory cries. Only steady readiness. Humanity had just lost hundreds of ships. Thousands of lives. But they did not fall apart. They did not panic. They did not blink. The surrender that changed the galaxy. Lord Zyron slowly stood. He turned toward the human fleet and open all channels. For the first time, the voice of the Supreme Commander of the Ravok Empire was not full of threat. It was heavy with defeat. Humanity, he said, the Ravok Empire accepts surrender. Shock spread across both sides of space. We will withdraw from all human border systems. Zyron continued. We will return C's worlds. We will end all expansion wars. Eli closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he replied, Peace is accepted, he said, but power will be shared. No empire will ever rule by fear again. Lord Zyron lowered his head. So be it. A new law of the stars. Within weeks, the galaxy changed. Ravok forces pulled back from hundreds of slave worlds. Old borders fell. New agreements rose. Small races no longer hid in silence. They spoke. They traded. They lived. Humanity became something new in galactic history. Not an empire. Not a conqueror. But a balance. Remembering the unknown pilot. On Earth, a silent memorial was built. No name. No rank. Only words carved into black stone. Here rests the one who flew into the dark, so the stars could live. Eli stood alone before that stone. Mara stood beside him. He saved everything, she said softly. Eli nodded. Yes. The final scene. Far above Earth, human fleets watched the stars in quiet peace. New alien ships traveled beside them. Once enemies, now neighbors. Eli stood at the front window of the Drift Runner. Mara joined him. Do you think the galaxy will stay peaceful? She asked. Eli watched the light of distant stars. No, he said honestly. But now, fear no longer owns it. Mara smiled faintly. The universe was still dangerous, still wild, still full of unknown threats. But one truth was now written across the stars themselves. Humanity did not blink, and because of that, the galaxy would never again look at humans as weak. The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. For the first time in centuries, human fleets moved without constant alarms. Ravok ships had pulled back. Small alien worlds cautiously opened communication channels. Trade resumed. Borders stabilized. Yet, Eli Carter felt unease. He stood on the deck of the Drift Runner, staring at distant stars. Mara joined him, her eyes reflecting the soft light of alien suns. Do you feel it? She asked quietly. What? Eli said, That quiet something is coming. He nodded slowly. Peace is only a pause, Mara. Something always follows silence. The new order. High Command had begun establishing the Galactic Defense Pact, uniting human space with willing races. It was not an empire. It was not a government. It was a shield against the unknown. Eli attended the first council meeting. Alien representatives filled the chambers. Luminescent beings, insectoid delegates, stone-skinned elders, and floating light creatures. The council debated endlessly. How to patrol trade routes safely. How to rebuild worlds previously under Ravok control. Whether humanity should share advanced technology. Eli listened quietly. He knew one rule. Power attracts danger. A dark signal returns. As the council convened, human sensors detected a faint signal beyond the edge of mapped space. It was not Ravok. It was not any known race. It pulsed irregularly, like a heartbeat. Unknown signature approaching hyperspace, a technician reported. Mara leaned over Eli's shoulder. It's massive, bigger than anything we've scanned before. High Command scrambled fleets. Communications were sent to all nearby systems. Yet, the signal moved silently. No energy spikes. No weapons. Just presence. Eli's face hardened. We survived the first storm, he said. Now we face the one hiding in the dark. The first contact. Hours later, the signal became visible on long-range scanners. A colossal structure drifted out of the black. It was older than any recorded history. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal. Strange energy pulsated along veins that spanned miles. Sensors could barely read it. Its mass was incomprehensible. Mara swallowed hard. Eli, what is that? I don't know, Eli admitted, but it's not neutral, and it's not friendly. The unknown structure sent a communication signal. Unlike any previous message, It contained patterns of thought, not sound. The fleet's AI struggled to interpret it. Only one idea became clear. Humans notice. Humanity's choice. High Command convened immediately. Do we fight it? One officer asked. Do we retreat? Another said. Eli's voice was calm, measured. Neither. We do not blink. We do not strike first. We observe, we prepare, and we ensure our allies survive. Mara looked at him, tension in her eyes. That worked before, but this might be bigger. Yes, Eli said, but humans survive by standing firm. Galactic rumors. Meanwhile, across neutral systems, news of humanity's victory against the Ravok Empire had spread. Small alien worlds celebrated humans as protectors. Some empires whispered in fear. If they can destroy a doomsday weapon, what else can they do? Others plan alliances with humans preemptively. In every corner of space, the story was the same. Humanity does not blink. Yet whispers also carried a warning. Something older watches from the dark. Something even the Ravok feared. Suspense ending. Eli stared at the stars once more. The unknown structure had stopped moving. Its presence was vast, almost godlike. And then, without warning, it emitted a pulse of energy, not destructive but intelligent. It felt alive. All sensors went wild. Communication scrambled. A message reached Eli's mind directly, not in words. In thought. We have watched. We have waited. Now the test begins. Mara gripped Eli's arm. What does it mean? She whispered. Eli's eyes narrowed. It means the galaxy's real challenge is just beginning. And this time we may not get a warning. The fleet powered up. Every ship prepared. Every sensor scanned. Humanity stood at the edge of a new unknown. And, as always, humanity did not blink.